My hilarious first impression disaster. Okay, folks, gather around. Let me tell you a story about a first impression gone hilariously wrong. Picture this. I'm fresh off the boat from South Africa, right? Landed in New York City, ready to take on the world. I walk into a fancy coffee shop feeling all cool and confident. I see this beautiful barista. Long hair, piercing blue eyes, like something out of a movie. I decide to impress her with my best American accent. I walk up to her and say, "Hey there, ma'am, can I get a venti caramel macchiato extra whip?" She looks at me puzzled. "Venti what now, sir? This is a library." "Yeah, you heard that right. A library." I had walked into a library, not a coffee shop. I was so embarrassed I wanted to disappear into a bookshelf. The worst part, the whole place saw it. That, my friends, is the power of a first impression. It can go from zero to disastrous in 3 seconds flat. But hey, we've all been there, right? We've all had those moments where we wished we could rewind time and get a do-over. So, why do we put so much stock in first impressions? Why are our brains wired to judge a book by its cover, even when we know better? Well, it all goes back to our caveman days. Imagine you're a caveman, right? You see a stranger approaching your cave. You don't have time to analyze their personality, their political views, their favorite Netflix shows. You need to make a snap judgment, friend or foe, fight or flight. Our brains are still wired for that kind of quick thinking. We make instant judgments based on limited information, appearance, body language, tone of voice. It's not always accurate, but it's how we're wired. Think about it. You meet someone new. What's the first thing you notice? Their clothes, their hair, their shoes. We all do it. It's human nature. Now, let's talk about the halo effect. You know, when someone's good looks, charm or charisma blind you to their flaws, it's like they're wearing an invisible halo, making them seem more trustworthy, intelligent and all-around awesome. Take celebrities, for example. We see them on screen, looking glamorous and perfect. We assume they're also kind, generous and down-to-earth. But as we've seen time and time again, that's not always the case. Remember, folks, don't let the halo fool you. Looks can be deceiving. That charming smile might be hiding a whole lot of crazy. On the flip side, we've got the devil effect. This is when we judge someone negatively based on their appearance, even if they've done nothing wrong. Think about it. Have you ever crossed the street to avoid someone who looked sketchy? Or made assumptions about someone based on their clothes, tattoos or piercings? We've all been there. But the truth is, appearances can be deceiving. That guy with the tattoos might be a softie who volunteers at an animal shelter. That woman with the piercings might be a brilliant scientist working on a cure for cancer. So, the next time you catch yourself judging someone based on their looks, remember, don't be so quick to judge. You never know what's going on beneath the surface. Section 5. Culture clash. First impressions can get lost in translation. Now, let's add another layer of complexity to this whole first impression thing, culture. What's considered polite or appropriate in one culture might be totally off-putting in another. For example, in some cultures, direct eye contact is a sign of respect. In other cultures, it's considered rude or aggressive. So, you can imagine how a simple misunderstanding about eye contact could lead to a disastrous first impression. The takeaway here, when you're dealing with people from different cultures, be mindful of cultural differences. What you think is a friendly gesture might be interpreted in a completely different way. Section 6, the self-fulfilling prophecy. We become what we think. Here's a mind-blowing thought. Our first impressions of others can actually influence their behavior. It's called the self-fulfilling prophecy. Here's how it works. You meet someone new and you decide they're unfriendly. You act distant and aloof. They in turn pick up on your vibes and respond in kind. The result? You've just confirmed your own bias. The good news is this works both ways. If you approach someone with warmth and openness, they're more likely to reciprocate. So go out there and spread some good vibes. Section 7, second chances. It's okay to give and get them. Okay, so we've established that first impressions aren't always accurate. We all make snap judgments, we're influenced by biases, and sometimes we just have bad days. So what's the solution? Second chances. Just because you messed up a first impression doesn't mean you're doomed forever. People can surprise you and relationships can evolve. Remember that time I walked into a library thinking it was a coffee shop? Well, guess what? I went back the next day, apologized to the barista, who, by the way, had a great sense of humor about the whole thing, and we actually became friends. Section 8. Mastering the first impression, tips and tricks for success. Now, I'm not saying you should throw caution to the wind and completely disregard first impressions. They do matter, especially in professional settings. So here are a few quick tips to help you put your best foot forward. Dress to impress. Your clothes send a message. Make sure it's the right one. Mind your body language. Stand tall, make eye contact and smile. Be a good listener. People love to talk about themselves. Ask questions and really listen to the answers. Find common ground. Look for shared interests to build rapport. Be authentic. Don't try to be someone you're not. People can spot a fake a mile away. Remember, folks, a little effort goes a long way. Section 9. Laugh it off. The importance of humor in first encounters. Finally, let's not forget the power of humor. A well-timed joke or a witty observation can break the ice and make you instantly more likable. Of course, humor is subjective. What's funny to one person might be offensive to another, so use your best judgment and read the room. But in general, a little lightheartedness can go a long way in making a good first impression. After all, who doesn't love a good laugh? And on that note, I'll leave you with this. If you do happen to make a fool of yourself on a first encounter, don't sweat it. Just laugh it off. Who knows? It might even make for a good story someday. And remember, folks, life is too short to take first impressions too seriously. Go out there, be yourself, and have fun.